So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Eazy Conversations. Thanks a lot to everyone who listened to the last episode featuring the homie Matt and I. Hope you enjoyed listening to us share our thoughts on the fifth and final season of Stranger Things. And if you had different takes on it, please let us know. So now for episode 175 of Eazy Conversations. I'm extremely excited, of course, to be back in the studio virtually with the homie Matt. Say what's up to the people.
What is going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great time right now. I'm so excited for today's episode, Eric. These are some of my favorite episodes to do of the whole year. And we also have one of my favorite guests that we bring on the podcast to do this. So, Eric, without further ado, why don't you introduce our guest and what we're going to be discussing today?
Yeah, always love doing this episode, largely due to the fact that we're bringing on a fan favorite, now 5-time recurring guest, the homie Brandon, aka Hip Hop Fiend 85. Say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Same thing here. I look forward to it. I love doing the notes, and when it gets to this time of the year, it's the shuffle and it's getting everything together, and yeah, one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, so as per usual, when we have Brandon on, it's time for our first top 10 episode of the year, in which we share our top 10 favorite hip hop albums of the previous year. So 2025, very strong year for hip hop. I think we're all on the same page here. We had a hard time putting together this list. There could have been 5 other albums, maybe even 10 other albums that made the cut here. So very excited to share my list with you all. And before we get into it, and Brandon, you can share your first pick and we can go from there. But how was the list making process for you both before we get into it?
It was a great year. Like, it was tough. I think the albums that like really shined, you knew right away, like the strong ones, but there just seemed like every month, like great stuff was dropping. It was a great year for hip hop.
Yeah, for myself, it was definitely my favorite year. Like grinding out the albums, listening to the albums week after week, and then when I wrote every album I listened to, and when I went to make my top 10 list, I had so many rated highly that I had to do a lot of re-listens, and I'm sure you guys are going to mention titles that I've only listened to once or twice and kind of like forgot about and didn't give their due. But no, I'm excited to hear what you guys have on there. But yeah, it was very hard to make because of the strong year. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, I agree. It was, like I said, could have been, it was really for me like the 6 to 10 slots that I struggled with, and could have had like another 5 or so albums in there for sure. But overall, I'm happy with the list that I've put together. Could change on any given day, but before we started this episode, I said like I've stopped listening to the 2025 albums to not second guess myself and what I have put down with my list that I'm very happy with right now. So, but there could be some movement for sure. But my top 5 has been pretty intact for a long time. It was, again, like I said, the 6 to 10 range that could have shifted, but excited to get into it. So yeah, without further ado, Brandon, do you want to kick us off with your number 10 album of the year?
Yeah, number 10, I'm going to go with JID, God Does Like Ugly.
Nice.
Just an incredible album. When you think of tracks like Community with Clips, where he's just like straight spitting, like lyricism, like JID is one of those artists that is creative and lyrically he's just keeping like that section of hip hop alive for the younger guys. Then I'll have songs like with Earth Gang, Skate, which is just completely like a different vibe. Like, I loved all the different looks that he gave on this album. No Boo, like his, I guess his love track kind of it was just amazing. I love how the interludes all go together. West Side Gun on the intro, it was just awesome. But yeah, no, that's not my number 10. JID, God Does Like Ugly.
Great pick.
Great pick, 100% agreed. And I had said like a while back on the pod, Community, one of my favorite songs of the year. Both verses from Pusha and Malice, just sinister. And I love JID. Like, the first time I heard it, I wasn't even sure if it was him for the whole song. Like, he switches his voice up quite a few times. Like, the start of that first verse, I didn't even know it was him until then he flipped over to like his traditional voice with the Lisan Al Gaib line. Like I love that. I love that verse so much. And yeah, that's like, again, still one of my favorites of the year. VCRs too with Vince Staples.
Yeah.
Those first 6 songs for me, elite stuff. So no,
Yeah.
great album. Matt, do you want to go next?
Yes, I'll go next. At number 10, I have Paint the World Black by Saigon. I first discovered Saigon the previous year for his album, The Jordan Era. Now that when Paint the World Black came out, I loved it from the start, and I kept re-listening to it throughout the year. The highlights for me on this album include Dear God, Well Wishes, My Child, No Witness, 2000 Now. Those are all great songs. This album is a little long. It has different, like, tempos to some of the songs, but I went back to it throughout the year, and I like that I discovered a guy like Saigon, and now might have to go back on listen to his catalog. But Paint the World Black, I thought was a super solid album with cool beats, and yeah, that's why I have it at number 10.
Yeah, it's a great album, and it's all produced by Buck Wild, who's just a legendary producer. No, I loved it too. I should have listened to it more this year.
Yeah, I've never heard. I know of Saigon, but I have not heard this album. Didn't get the chance to check it out, but yeah, great. I love to start off with some discovery for me and Brandon, maybe something to spin back again. But no, nice, Matt. I love it. Love to see it. So I'll go back to back here. My number 10 is one that it's from an artist actually that I'll just share a quick story. I thought would definitely become much bigger when he was on the rise. And I remember we were at our grandparents' house, Matt, this was like 2012, maybe 2013. And your dad came up to me and asked me like who are some artists that you listen to, Eric? I was like, yeah. Like I didn't know why, but I didn't really want to tell him. Like I felt like I was going to be judged for who I was going to say. And then I said, Joey Badass, and he said, Joey Badass, like what is that name? Like right away I'm like, this is a huge mistake, I shouldn't have told him. But here we are in 2025. Joey Badass, Lonely at the Top is my number 10 album of the year, because I feel like he went back to kind of just a simpler kind of album, not trying to do too much, showcasing his range too. And there are no skips in this album for me other than, and now, I was going to say this for your pick, Brandon, with God Does Like Ugly. I feel like artists need to stop featuring Ty Dolla $ign on their albums because it's always the same song, I swear to God. And on this, that's my only song I don't really love, like Ready to Love on here. Anyways, so overall, I feel like he did a very simple, like I said, 40 minutes, no skips other than that song. And yeah, some emotional songs on there too. He talks about like his mental health struggles, and then just goes hard with the bars in there. So it's kind of the return to form I was looking for from Joey from his last album 2000, which I think is pretty good, but it's not really one that I want to go back to all that often. Whereas this one is one that I've enjoyed all year. Thought it was a great album. So yeah, Lonely at the Top, Joey Badass. Shout out Uncle Michel.
Yeah, great
Nice
pick.
pick, Eric.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one too. Even I think it was, well, Super Flea was one of my favorites, and then I think High Roller, where it sounds like a 2000 like Noriega beat.
Love that song.
Oh, it was great. Like I don't know how it worked, but it worked like perfectly. No, that's a great pick.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was a super solid album too, Eric. Great stuff.
Yeah. So now number 9 is one that definitely did not have on my bingo card, as I didn't even know this was coming out this year, so a nice surprise there. And from artists that I knew of their early stuff but have not been up to date with their catalog at all, it would be I don't know if I'll say my only pick in this series of albums that dropped, but from the Legends Has It series, Infinite by Mobb Deep, which from the first song, I knew like, all right, we're in one here. These are going to be some grimy bangers. And this is the album that I listened to the most when I was at the gym all year. It was like, if I'm hitting the leg press machine, I'm like, let's throw Gunfire on. Taj Mahal, who can forget? What an iconic track. Just storytelling at its finest. and I feel like it flows from songs 1 to 15. Not a lot of skips, a lot of great Nas features on there. I think he's on here 3 times. You got clips in there as well. Yeah, no, just a prodigy. Man, he's sounding like rest in peace, but like better than ever on there. And his presence on the mic was just something else. And very grateful we got this album. And of course, anytime you get some Alchemist production in there, I'm all over it. So yeah, number 9 for me, Infinite by Mobb Deep. Check it out if you haven't, and go back and check out their old catalog as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, what an incredible album. The way Alchemist and Havoc put it together, like it feels like Prodigy is still here. It felt like he was in the booth, like rapping on it. I saw an interview too where Alchemist said that some of those beats are the ones he actually rapped on. They didn't try to like recreate, which I guess gives it that authentic sound. But yeah, what an album. To me, like it ranks high in their discography for me. Like it's that good.
Yeah, I absolutely love this album, Eric. A great pick. The clip song "Look at Me" is amazing. A Gunfire beat is.
Oh yeah.
Ever since hearing that album's been on repeat in my car a lot. Yeah, I could go through all the songs, but no, I'm super happy it's on your list, Eric. My number 9 now is okay. Sorry, I lost my pages. My number 9 is Light Years by Nas and DJ Premier. This may have been higher on my list, but I've only listened to the album twice because it came out at the end of the year. But it made an impression on me. Songs like Riders and like the storytelling basically on the album is great. And Nas is one of my favorite rappers, so I love his voice and his flow. Yeah, again, this could be higher on my list, but I've only listened to it twice. But I thought it was still a super solid album that deserved to be in my top 10. So that's Light Years by Nas and DJ Premier at my number 9.
Yeah, great pick. I thought it was a great album as well. Great production, great Nas. I mean, Nas, I feel like in the 2020s has been the epitome of consistency, like a pillar of consistency. And this was a highly anticipated album, so it did have like not flop potential, but like there was a lot of eyes on this, and people expected greatness, and they definitely both did their thing on here and delivered. So no, it was a great album for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I was completely blown away by it. That album, yeah, it just dropped, but I don't know. I think I listened to it like 20 times already.
Oh my crap!
Like I can't stop. I've been waiting like since 1996 for this. So, but yeah, unbelievable album.
So yeah, Brandon, your number
number 9 now. So my number 9. Okay, so this artist had like 4 albums I could have chose from, but I'm gonna go with West Side Gun. Heels Have Eyes Too. You know, it's kind of weird to say that he's in my top 10. Like he's never. I like him. He's never been my like favorite out of the Griselda group, but obviously the most unique. But these albums, like this run that he's been on this year, is like incredible. Like I've loved them all. Heels Have Eyes Too, though. It's just an album that I've been playing. The beats, I think a lot of it is like the beats. Heel Cena, like that jazzy boom bap track. Amira Kitchen was another one. Brother Tom, SOS. It's really my first introduction to him through these albums, and like he's incredible. He can rap. His like singing flow on the choruses. But yeah, no, I could not stop listening to this. And another thing, like I'm a collector, obviously, so he put all these CDs up for like $10 when they dropped, which, you know, we know Griselda, his stuff sells out. It's always high praise. So I felt like this year he like really gave back to like all the fans, and he just delivered. Like all 4 albums are just been incredible.
Yeah, great.
I really liked it too. I wasn't like every year I grow on West Side Gun a little bit more, and I thought this album was his best too, and I really enjoyed it as well. I thought it was super solid. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Like it was great to see him put out this much music and all of it being consistent. Now, what I'm gonna say might sound hypocritical in that I always have a Boldy James album on my list. I might today as well. Who knows? West Side Gun, I feel like this year he almost put out too much music in that I feel like it was so steady and the same, that none of it stood out more above the rest for me. That's and I'll just say now, like I don't have any of his albums on my top 10. Like I enjoyed them all, but I kind of wish, and I'm gonna say this for all of Griselda, I feel like I'd like them to just put out one album a year, and or even take a year off. Who knows? I feel like they're at that point now where, at a time, their constant output was such a strength that now it's, while I still enjoy all their music, I kind of want them to take a bit more of a break, if that makes sense. I think it was all good, but that's kind of where I'm coming at them from this time around.
Yeah, no, I get it for sure.
Sure.
So number 8, it's been mentioned, but the first of the Legend Has It series, Mobb Deep, Infinity.
Nice.
Infinity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just yeah, like everything that was said before, just incredible. You know, it's one that I kept going back to. Nas, I love that. Like Nas just like killed it. Pour Out the Henny might be one of my favorite. Raekwon and Ghostface on Clear Black Nights was amazing. It just felt like Mass Appeal was like a throwback era to like a Rockefeller. Like they all featured on each other's albums. It felt like a real family affair with these legends. And yeah, this one was one of the best ones for sure.
Yeah, we just talked about it, but yeah, super solid album.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, my number 8 is not Infinity by Mobb Deep. What's my number 8? Oh yeah, okay. So speaking in 2025 was a great year for the Blue Jays. Okay, they killed it. But another B and J that did super well this year was Boldy James. Aaron just mentioned him. Boldy James. I think when we started doing the podcast, I think I was like lukewarm on him, and every year you had one on your list, one of his albums, and this is a year that he's on my list, okay?
It's cool.
And at number 8, I have Late to My Own Funeral by Boldy James. This is my comfort album of the year, honestly. I listened to it so many times. I listened to all his albums this year, and they were great, but this one was like my comfort album, super easy to listen to on my way to work. I really like the song Trapezoid. The beats on the album, the relaxed flow of Boldy James, honestly, now is super soothing to me, and I like his style now. I like that maybe monotone delivery, but there's something about it now that just puts a smile on my face, and I thought this is one of his best albums of the year. Late to My Own Funeral, 10 songs in and out easily, quick in and out, done. So yeah, number 8, Late to My Own Funeral by Boldy James. Produced by Nicholas Craven, I believe.
Yeah, oh yeah. Shout out to Montreal.
Yeah, Montrealer, yeah. Incredible, too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from Montreal. He's put out, like, incredible albums this year. But, yeah, what a great album. Yeah, to me, that was, like, Boldy James' like, standout album to me. And like you said, it was just, like, 10 tracks. It was great. And the beats, man, it was perfect for him. Like, front to back. Love that album.
Yeah, great album. Anything that Boldy James does with Nick Craven, automatically check out. They're actually, I think I missed like one or two of his like 14 albums he dropped this year. This was not one of them. Like this is a must check out. I really enjoyed it for sure. And yeah, I mean, definitely be talking about Boldy later, but this album was a really good one. And like I mentioned earlier as well, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything he puts out because a lot of it is similar. I like that he collaborates with one producer on all these albums, which gives it some uniqueness. And Nick Craven is definitely one of, in my opinion, the top 3 producers that he frequently collaborates with, is my thoughts on this. So number 8 for me, really liked this album when it dropped and is one that I consistently kept going back to, so could not ignore it. Not his best album that he's put out in the last few years where he's had a kind of a resurgence, but it would be a collab album by Yellow Wolf and J. Michael Phillips called Whiskey and Roses. I've just been a Yellow Wolf fan forever at this point, and I love the vibe of this album where it's really kind of like your country storytelling, drunken nights passed out on the porch, coming back from church. You're going to church to absolve yourself from your sins the night before. He just has a way of really putting you in that mindset of feeling what he's lived and you're seeing life through his eyes that I just really enjoy, and a lot of catchy songs in here from the jump. For me, the first 5 songs especially are just a ride. Honey Hole, Falling, Amnesia, I Swear, love those songs. And even the back half has a lot of catchy songs too, like Big Trucks, Yay Yay Yay, Searching for Heaven. I don't know, I love this whole album, honestly. 10 songs, no skips for me. Big fan of this album. And yeah, J. Michael Phillips, not really sure who he is really as an artist, if he dabbles more into country or not, but this was a good collab album for me. So yeah, Whiskey and Roses, Yellow Wolf, J. Michael Phillips.
Yeah, that one completely passed me. I didn't even realize Yellow Wolf released this year. So I'll definitely be checking that out after this.
Go.
Yeah, Eric, I wrote it down too. You stumped me. I got to listen to this. Haven't checked it out.
Interesting. Okay, I'm surprised neither of you heard it, given that Yellow Wolf had like that 2021 year with all those albums. In my opinion, it was like, Yellow Wolf dropped something that can't be missed. But okay, interesting. So yeah, let me know what you think. It definitely has like some country rock elements to it. It's not pure rap, but I liked it a lot. So let me know what you think. Number 7. Now I'm talking about country rock. This is pure rap at its finest, and again, an album I did not think I would have on my list. With these, there's like 20 some artists that appear on this album, called Black Samson, the Bastard Swordsman by Wu-Tang Clan and Mathematics. So this is one that completely blindsided me, in that whenever Wu-Tang Clan, for example, I'll just loop them all together, they're like 30 plus years in the game right now. I don't expect anything great out of these guys. Respectfully, of course. I love their music, but these guys are pushing 50 now. This is an amazing album. Like, it's just pure bars, lyrical swordplay, sharp storytelling, and everyone kind of, it's really by committee. It's not like, Raekwon dominates this album, Method Man's all over it. It's kind of everyone is on like 1 or 2 songs. They have a lot of guests on here. Benny the Butcher's on here for a track, 38 Special. Anyways, it's just like a by committee approach, and I thought the beats by Mathematics were phenomenal. And yeah, it was my most enjoyed Wu-Tang Clan album since the 90s, honestly. So I really enjoyed this album. Couldn't leave it off. I listened to it so often. And I want to highlight, just in general, the year that Method Man specifically had. Every time he popped up on a song, Scene Stealer. He had the best verse on almost every song I heard him on. So he needs his flowers here. Like that song with Benny. Warriors 2, Cooley High, a standout for sure. So yeah, that's my number 7. Black Samson, the Bastard Swordsman.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that on the list. I should have put it on mine. It was such an incredible album, and I find Mathematics gives them that grimy sound that we need to hear them on. Cleopatra Jones, I think I played the most this year. It was like one of my most played songs, and I don't know, it felt like the return of the Wu. Like, so many members dropped albums. They did the tour. I got to see them in Montreal, and they just completely killed it on tour. It just felt like the 90s. Like, they brought the 90s back this year.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought this was a super solid album too, Eric. Kicking myself for not re-listening to it as many times as these other ones, because hearing you talk about it, I'm like, oh, damn, did I make a mistake? But no, I love this album too. Great pick, Eric.
Nice.
For my number 7, this is an artist that I know has a deep catalog. I haven't listened to it, but the album he put out this year was just so fun, and this is the album I listen to outside in the summer a lot. It is longer, but it's great. It's the Too Short album. So Too Short Volume 1. I knew of Too Short, never listened to his stuff, but like just right away from the first song, Still Knocking, I was like, oh, this is for me. Like, just the beats and the good vibes, and like kind of like funny lyrics. Like, I was laughing a lot to some of his lyrics in the later songs. But no, I really enjoyed this album. It isn't perfect. It's definitely not all like, there's maybe a couple skips, but like the highs for me are really high on this album. That's why it's at number 7. And I think I'm going to check out Too Short's discography. But yeah, that's Too Short Volume 1. by Too Short. I really enjoyed it. I was cutting the grass a lot, listening to this album, and good times.
Yeah. Oh, it's an incredible album, and it's a throwback to like his old sound. I found like if you go through his discography, like he's never had like the most depth, but he's always been able to make the same subject sound entertaining. But I love that album. Like I was the same way. I listened to it so much this year, and yeah, it felt like it was amazing. That's a great pick.
Yeah, caught me off guard again. This is Saigon Part 2 out here. And I've not heard this. Like, I really don't. I know of Too Short. Like, I've mostly heard him as a feature. Never checked out his own music, but I know he's a West Coast legend. The Bay Area has nothing but good things to say about Too Short. So, well, good pick again. A stumper for me.
Great. So I'm gonna go number 7. I think Eric called it when I posted, almost to the number. I'm doing Evidence Unlearning Volume 2. Every time he drops, it's a guarantee that he's going to be in my top 10. And this album, just like the first volume, I don't know, it's hard for me to see which one I like more. Like, this one was so good. I find rapping-wise, he's always been great, but he almost took it to another level with his metaphors. Plans Change is such a great opener of a track. The Larry June feature on Future Memories. Again, like I'm a sucker for like jazzy beats, and he has that element in there, and it's just great. Even like Top Seated, he goes for like a more upbeat sound than he usually does, which was nice. Alchemist, his stepbrother that their group they call, he appears on it, and it was just another like very personal and like just incredible album. That's one that I got, and it stayed on the record player for a long time.
Yeah, good pick, Brandon. This is in contention for my top 10. It just missed it, but no, I thought it was a super solid album. I loved it too.
Yeah, really good. Like I just listened to it the one time, but was impressed. I should have gone back to it honestly, but I didn't spin it more than the one time. Yeah.
So we'll go back to number 6.
Yep.
Legend Has It series appears again.
Let's go.
Ghostface Killah, Supreme Clientele 2.
Oh, nice.
Like we said before with your pick, Eric, like Wu-Tang felt like they just had like a resurgence this year. Mm-hmm. And I know there was a lot of criticism about it when it dropped, where people were comparing it to the first one. But to me, like him calling it Supreme Clientele 2 put him in this like mind space of that feel. And like lyrically, like he just came, like the beats were like very hard, like on Rap Kingpin when he mixes My Melody with Mighty Healthy from Ghostface from the first one, Supreme Clientele. It was like genius. Like I loved it. The scratching, break beats, like it felt like almost like a love letter to hip hop. Like he went back on a lot. Those middle tracks, break beats, beatbox, Rap Kingpin were just like some of the best sequencing I love this year. Sample 420 with MOP, like the energy on that was unbelievable. Even when he goes back to like Fourth Disciple, where he has the story of like someone like dying in his arms, which was like one of his classic verses from Wu-Tang Forever. Like there was a lot of throwbacks and samples that like he put in that was throughout his career. And I love that he said he like kept tracks for like the last 15 years that he just put in the stash for this album. So yeah, no, number 6, like Supreme Clientele 2, like I just absolutely loved it. Another track I gotta say fast is what was it? You My Friend with Method Man. Once again, Method Man, like what a beat, what an incredible 2 verses from them. Like just I don't know, love this album so much.
Yeah, this is kind of like the Top Gun Maverick to Top Gun, where like it's a gutsy endeavor to even say like I'm making Supreme Clientele 2, and then obviously Top Gun Maverick I think is better than Top Gun. I don't think this is better than Supreme Clientele, the OG, but amazing legacy sequel to that classic album. And it's also the year of Mighty Healthy. Like they also sampled it in Black Samson the Bastard Swordsman. Like Mathematics just loves bringing that classic track back up the beat. But no, I really like this album a lot. I listened to it quite a few times. It's Yeah, I think there's some funny skits in here too. Like the pause skit is pretty funny. Like that, I've heard it
Yeah.
quite a few times and it cracks me up every time. But no, great rapping. Even down to like, yeah, we're at like track 18, Candyland. Like I still enjoy it down to like
Yes.
18 songs in, still vibing to that album. No, really, really good stuff. Ghostface, probably the most consistent of all the Wu Tang members with everything he's put out over the years, and this did not disappoint in naming it Supreme Clientele 2. Lived up to the hype, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love this album too, guys. I don't know Supreme Clientele 1 as much as you guys, so I didn't have that appreciation of the callbacks and the legacy and all that. So I think that went all over my head, guys. And maybe the length of this album too, I didn't listen to it as many times as you guys because of that. But no, I thought it was super solid. Ghostface is arguably the best on Wu Tang, maybe just like technically and like his flow. I really like his voice, like his flow. Yeah, good pick, Brandon. Love to see that. Okay, at number 6, I have number 6 is Alfredo 2 by Freddie
Hey,
Gibbs.
nice.
First listening to this album, I thought maybe it would suffer from maybe every song sounding the same and a repetitiveness, and you can't really distinguish the different songs. But like that all went out the window right away because I realized that I don't care. I like the way this sounds. I like this style of Freddie Gibbs. I like the relax, not the relax, but like the comfort I get from listening to the Alchemist beats and Freddie rapping over them. And I love the like from like Mar-a-Lago on, Lemon Pepper Steppers, Enchilada, Empanada, Skinny Swooch 2, like just I've been thinking of all the songs as they're playing in my as I'm listing them, and they're just super comfort. It's just a comfort and like a familiarity of like good times and very positive energy I get from listening to this album. Not as good as Alfredo 1, but maybe that's because I listen to that one more. But I thought this was super solid, and definitely the album cover of the year, like that purple, just pops. Like that was a great design. Yeah, no, this is just Freddie Gibbs doing what he does best, and I had to have it on my list. So it's at number 6, Alfredo 2.
Great album. I mean, you mentioned like there's a lot of stretches of just great, no skips. For me, like the Shangri-La, Gas Station Sushi to Lavish Habits, like those 3 songs in a row, the beat drops to start off every song just hit. Like especially Lavish Habits for me, like when that beat starts, like it just gets me going. And then he dissing DJ Academics right off the rip. It's hilarious. But no, that I love that album. Honestly, like, again, Supreme Clientele 2, naming this album Alfredo 2, which was a beloved album, my number 1 of 2020. Who can forget? There's some expectations and pressure here, but you put Freddie with a producer like The Alchemist, you know this isn't going to disappoint. So I love this album as well. Definitely going to be talking about it later, but no, great stuff. Love to see it.
Yeah, same here. We'll touch on it more, but even just like Gas Station Sushi, like
Oh, yeah.
you're listening to it, you're like, where does the name? And then at the end, where he's like,
Yeah.
Dookie, like Gas Station Sushi, just like had me rolling. No, incredible album. Like
Yeah.
definitely lived up to the hype.
Number 6 for me. Again, this one could have moved around, I feel like, but just given the amount of times I listened to this album, I had to have it pretty high. And another surprise, like this is really the year of surprising picks for me, where I didn't think I'd have like a Mobb Deep album on here, a Wu-Tang Clan album. Never in 1,000 years could I have guessed that I'd have a Juicy J album on my top 10. So me, it's Juicy J and Logic, Live and in Color. And honestly, this is like probably the biggest surprise of the year for me, in that when I heard these two were making an album together, kind of an unlikely pair, and I was expecting more raps from Logic, not necessarily him mostly producing the album and then popping in here and there, but just something about this dynamic that just worked for me. Juicy J rapping over these kind of beats that Logic kind of keeps hammering the point home that he like sped up the BPMs and everything. Like, all right, we get it, man. But for the boom bap sound, but it really works. And even I talked about skits on Supreme Clientele 2. I enjoyed the skits on this album too. It felt kind of natural in the album, despite being 21 songs. It's only 48 minutes long, and it has a nice flow. The the discussions kind of have the same beat as either the previous or the next upcoming song, so it flows pretty naturally. Some of their conversations are pretty funny, and then there's just some bangers on here. Like songs that I love are like 20 years later and Did We Live, Kill For, The Problem, Live and in Color. The first song is unbelievable. I Need a Hug, Black Rothstein. Like the whole album honestly flows for me start to finish, and not one that I could ignore. So if you haven't checked it out because you may not be a fan of Juicy J, give him a chance here. He shined on these beats from Logic, and Logic rapped like a madman on here. On Watch Me Roll My Weed Up, that song, I forget the name right now. It's Shame, I think. Anyways, great stuff.
Incredible. This was one of the albums that it almost made my top 10. It was amazing. Juicy J, I've never been like the biggest fan of his sound from before. To hear him over these boom bap tracks was like unbelievable. And he released 3 albums this year, and they were all like jazzy boom bap albums. Like to me, it's a guy who's been in the game for like 30 plus years. For me personally, it's his best year. And this one, when you mentioned We Live, that song was on repeat. I think it might be under 2 minutes, but like I couldn't stop listening to it. And like you said with the skits, it felt like I know Logic did his podcast, so it felt like a podcast. And then the music would just lead in, like the conversation would lead into the music, and it felt so organic. No, I couldn't get enough. That's a great pick. It was such a great album.
Yeah, you nailed it, Brandon. Like the flow of the album was just like super easy listening to. I agree with you, Eric. This is a very surprising album too. It definitely in contention for my top 10. I was shocked that I liked this one this much too, Eric. So solid stuff. I'm glad it's on your list. Yeah.
As am I. So now we enter the, like I said, top 5 that's been pretty much in place for me for quite some time now. And I feel like many years in a row, it's been number 5, Boldy James. The trend continues in 2025. Now, which one is it? I mentioned Nick Craven, classic collaborator. My other one is The Alchemist, who unfortunately did not make an album with Boldy James. So that would leave only one, who would be Real Bad Man for me. So Boldy James, Real Bad Man, Conversational Pieces is my album of the year with Boldy James. In that these two just have great chemistry, where Real Bad Man puts together this kind of dark, sinister, grimy soundscape for Boldy to just skate on ice cold, effortlessly. Reminiscent of Alchemist, honestly. It kind of gives that kind of same vibe. Like this could have been like the beats on Bo Jackson. It reminds me of that kind of vibe. But from the onset, like Class Clown, Tap the Brakes Twice, It Tech, just some menacing beats and lyrics from Boldy James. And then there's like another gym song, Come Back Around. Like you're feeling kind of down, you need something uplifting to motivate you, that song will get you going. And then just a lot of, like I said, catchy songs I found, cool lyrics, cold flow. Boldy James, I thought it flowed nicely, no skips for me. Cutthroats, Aspen, Triple Platinum, Bag It Up. I love this album so much. Like it's Boldy James. Yeah, I understand the criticism. You could say it sounds the same. He puts out too much music. I've said it about other artists, so I acknowledge that for him, but I don't really get sick of it. And on this one, I definitely enjoyed the whole ride. So Conversational Pieces, Boldy James, Real Bad Man, number 5 for me.
Yeah, great pick. I wish I listened to it more. I think I was so stuck on Late to My Own Funeral that's where my concentration with Boldy James was this year. Yeah. So I got to definitely revisit it. But great album, and like Real Bad Man, like not enough credit. Like production wise, like incredible.
Yeah, it's a fantastic album, Eric. I'm glad you have it. I spoiler, I do have another Boldy James, and it is not that one. So I'm glad you had that one, so we can talk about it, Eric. That's awesome. Okay, at number 5, I have, speaking of Wu-Tang Clan, number 5 for me is The Emperor's New Clothes by Raekwon. I thought this was freaking fantastic. The song, like Wild Corsicans with Conway and Benny, fantastic. 600 School with Ghostface and Method Man. There's the Omerta with Nas. That was a great song. But Pomegranate with Inspector Deck, like those are just a featured song with his buddies, but like those are great. But even all the songs on this album are great. Is my point. Love the beats, and I thought Raekwon just slayed in this album. The more I listen to it, I'm like, it's getting higher and higher up on my list. Again, someone who's been in the game for a while, and he's still killing it now. Eric, you said it when you talked about your Wu-Tang album. Like, they're just still killing it right now. And Brandon, you saw them live this year, and they're just they might be in their 50s, but they're still putting out great stuff. So who's to tell them to stop, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, number 5 is The Emperor's New Clothes by Raekwon.
Nice, great pick. It literally feels like 1995 again. Like, it's nuts. Bear Hill, the opening track on that album, like, I could not get enough of it. It's funny you named it like The Emperor's New Clothes, because it just sounds like vintage Raekwon. Like, his flows, his lyrics, Get Out of Here with Ghostface was one of my favorite ones. Deborah Night Wine, like, it's so soulful. No, that's a great pick. Another one that almost made my top 10, but I was like, I got too much Mass Appeal on here. But no, that's a great pick.
Yeah, this album honestly was in the mix for me for a long time. And I just want to say on Raekwon, like, this is, talk about return to form. Like, you look at his last few albums he put out, The Wild, Fly International, Luxurious Art. I don't know about Shaolin versus Wu-Tang. That's kind of an older album, but just those two right there. Like, I don't know if there's many people out there who still spin those albums. And Raekwon, like, other than the 2 Only Built for Cuban Links albums, which I love the second one as well, those are great albums, and I feel like he's struggled to put together like a very cohesive, great album, and this was that at this stage in his career is unbelievable. No, Pomegranate, one of my favorite songs for sure, and yeah, we had Griselda on there on Wild Corsicans. Yeah, no, One Life, 600 School. You mentioned it, Matt, but again, Method Man shines on there as well. So no, that was a great album. Love to see that represented here as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. So yeah, top 5 now. This was hard. Like, this to me was really hard. This album was top 3 for the longest. But I'm gonna go 2 Chainz, Larry June, and Alchemist. Life is Beautiful.
Let's go.
Wow. It could have been number 1 in all honesty. Like, what an album. First of all, 2 Chainz, I've been saying it for a while, especially to like a lot of like hardcore hip hop heads who are like, like, not fan, this and that. Like, 2 Chainz can spit. Like, lyrically, like, he is great. I know he does a lot of these other types of tracks, but like on this one with Alchemist, like, he is like straight spitting. Mm-hmm. Larry June, of course, we know is great, but the Munyon Canyon, the way it starts off is just like that soulful, once again, like soulful beat, you know. Larry June kicks it off, and then 2 Chainz follows, but it's just like a perfect flow. Like, their chemistry is like just incredible. I love how they both took control of like songs, you know, like each one would have certain leads on it. Bad Choices, the first single, was like that classic type of 2 Chainz track. Generation with the darker beat on there. Life is Beautiful, the title track, I think that's probably my favorite one on it. You know, that flute. I'm a sucker for flutes. So that flute in there was just amazing. I don't know. There's just nothing bad. LLC, like, everything about this album is just amazing. Like, I don't know. I can't say enough. Like I said, it was top 3 for like ever. So it's just incredible album.
Is 2 Chainz in the top 5 for Brandon the biggest surprise of the year? Quite possibly might be. Did not see this coming at all. But it kind of also goes to show where, and I've been a fan of 2 Chainz for a while. I feel like he has a lot, the Pretty Girls Like Trap Music in 2017. That's one of my favorite albums of that year and like of the 2010s for sure. I love that album. But you put him in the hands of the Alchemist again, who, I'm going to say this later, but I want to see Alchemist make more collab albums with other artists you wouldn't necessarily expect, because he kind of brings the best out of everybody. And yeah, 2 Chainz, in my opinion, 2 Chainz stood above Larry on this one, but Larry June and Alchemist is also, like, I love their album The Great Escape, and a few years ago that was an amazing album too. But no, love to see that album on here. It was like an early year album too, so got lost in the shuffle a bit, but yeah, I was listening to it a lot when it dropped, and no, I'm glad we got a chance to talk about it. Great album.
I have a confession. I totally did not listen to this album because I saw Two Chains' name.
Disrespect.
Very like prejudiced. I don't know why. I just associate him with stuff I don't like. I'm definitely gonna check this out, Brandon. I freaking apologize for not listening to this. I don't know why I'm apologizing right now, but it's very bad of me to like just dismiss something because of an artist. I have a reputation, like I have an image of him in my head, and it's just like not something I like. But yeah, no, I'm glad you brought this album up because I'm gonna listen to it. I might discover a bunch of stuff I do like now that I screwed up basically.
No, it's it's good because now you get to listen to a great album. And 2 Chainz, I know you associate him with a certain sound, but Two Chainz is a lyricist. Like he could really spit. And you put him on certain beats. Like he's been supposed to have an album with Static Selecta now for a few years. We've been talking about, and I think that'll be another top 10 album with those two beats, those two together. Like no, he's incredible. No, it's good. You get to discover something great.
Yeah. I want another 2 Chainz Alchemist album, honestly, just the two of them even. Who knows? But no,
100%.
him and Larry June, like I remember when that album was announced on Twitter, I was mind blown that this was even gonna happen. Like it seemed like out of nowhere, an unlikely pair, a la Stranger Things, but no, it was really good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was super happy because I knew a lot of like hip hop heads were gonna like, I've gotten into like online like heated discussion like about like no, he can spit. Yeah. So no, I was happy, man. So number 4, late entry. This is one of the ones that just came in, but I had to put it in there. De La Soul, Cabin in the Sky. Like what a beautiful album. Like I don't even know how else to describe it, but like by saying that it's a complete tribute to Dave. Plug 2, like. And like he's felt throughout the album. He raps on, I think he's on like about 4 tracks, but he also produces like another 3 or 4 on there. So he's throughout the whole album. Like it just feels like a complete De La Soul album. And if you ever listen to their discography, like they just never miss. They're incredible. And this is another album that's like up there. It doesn't feel like an afterthought or like a posthumous album. It just feels like a great De La Soul album. From the intro, I love the intro where they got every feature on there to like put their hand up in the classroom. And then you know what's coming at the end, and it still kind of hits hard when Dave doesn't answer. But this album started out with Dave still around. It was supposed to be completely produced by DJ Premier and Pete Rock. So they included, I think there's 4 Pete Rock tracks and 3 DJ Premier tracks, which are just unbelievable, like incredible. Super Dave, which is one of their frequent collaborators, is on there. Killer Mike on the tribute to their moms is amazing. Nas, Black Thought, like Common and Slick Rick on the same track, just as like a mind blows, and it just keeps getting better and better. If it was like released later on, maybe it would have been my number 1, but I like absolutely love this album. Just like a beautiful tribute to their fallen friends.
Nice.
I really like this album too. I only listened to it a couple times, and I don't think I get the same appreciation you do, Brandon. Like I don't know their history or their discography as well. So, but no, I thought it was a super solid album.
Same for me, honestly. Like, I've never fully dove into De La Soul's discography. I've tried a few times. I find, I don't know what it is. It hasn't hooked me yet. But I thought this was a really good album, though, honestly. I quite enjoyed it. But I've only listened to it 2 times. Thought it was really good, but didn't spin it enough, honestly. But no, and great point about this not necessarily sounding like a posthumous album. Like it. And that's shout out to Mass Appeal with the Legend Has It series. Like they made all their albums, maybe minus the Big L one, feel like it's like just curated albums with the artists that are still alive. So no, great stuff. Love that pick.
All right, my number 4. If you had told me like 5 years ago that I'd have 2 Boldy James albums on the same top 10, I wouldn't have believed you. So at number 4, I have Boldy James. This is the one I've listened to the most throughout the year. It's Permanent Ink.
Oh, nice.
It came out early-ish in the year, if I recall. But I listened to this album consistently throughout the year a lot. Maybe this is the album I've listened to the most, honestly, because to me, just like it's not long. It's just perfect album to listen to on my way to work. Just the beats, the Boldy's flow, like I said, it's growing on me like that. Maybe the people call it monotonous, but that's his voice in my head, and it's very soothing. I don't know. I like songs like Ghetto, Jacksonville, Single File Line. I don't know. I could name all the songs right now. From the first song though, Permanent Ink, I'm hooked, and it just flows like one long shed of, like it's like the whole thing, guys. And honestly, I liked Homage too, and Conversational Pieces, and all his albums this year I like. So I'm very glad that I have two Boldy James albums this year, and Permanent Ink's definitely my favorite one.
I think this one, I didn't check this one out, to be honest. I gotta definitely go back and look at it.
No, I checked it out for sure. Great album, honestly. The song Ghetto is probably my favorite one, honestly. It has like that classic Boldy James. And again, like this is a good workout album as well. You can bump this in the gym, get fired up. Love to see some dual Boldy James representation. Not even talking you and me, Matt, having them, but you having two of them on here. So love to see it. Yeah, it's great. And yeah, I mean, like I said, he put out so many albums. He's helping his case to have at least one album on here. So love to see it. All right, so number 4 for me. I'll say this for the YouTube listener or viewers, rather than say the name of the album, you can just watch on my screen, and it's my most recent painting that I've completed standing behind me. So that would be my number 4 album of the year. Speaking of posthumous release, this is one that I'll just say it now there for the listeners there. So I'm pointing to a painting of Mac Miller's latest album, Balloonerism. So this was posthumous album that was recorded around from 2013, 2014, that range, when he was putting out like Watching Movies with the Sound Off, Faces, Delusional Thomas, projects like that. So still in that kind of dark, drug influenced era for him. And this is one of his albums that he had completed, but for some reason didn't want to put out. But eventually the estate decided to, let's release this for the fans. And I'm so happy that he did, because this is an amazing album in my opinion. Like I said, it's kind of dark oftentimes, honestly. There's a lot of heavy songs on here, borderline depressing. But overall, another great album with a song called Shangri-La on it, funnily enough. And I just think this flows 1 through 14. Well, the album kind of starts at 2 with DJ's chord organ featuring SZA. But no, honestly, from like Do You Have a Destination, $5 Pony Rides, Friendly, I could list off all the songs, honestly. Like, I love this from start to finish, as most people know. Big Mac Miller fan, so anything more that we can get from his estate, I'm always super grateful for. Hopefully one day I can get MacLib. But for now, this definitely appeased my hunger in terms of new Mac Miller music, and thought it was an amazing album. So hopefully you've had a chance to check it out, enjoy it. But if not, definitely spin it, because I love this album.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. I don't think we've ever seen, at least in hip hop, an estate do like a better job with an artist's legacy than Mac Miller's has. Mm-hmm. And it should have been in my top 10. I played this one so much. Funny Papers.
Oh,
I think that might be one of my favorite songs of the year. Like, so that good. Was unbelievable. But yeah, no, front to back. And even the artwork, like you're painting, like the artwork was like on point. Like it really captured the album, you know? Mm-hmm. What an amazing album. Amazing album.
I really enjoyed this album too. I'm gonna have to re-listen to it, because I obviously didn't listen to it as many times as you guys, and I think I'll appreciate it more if I spin it again. I don't know Mac Miller as much as you guys. I just know a couple of his later albums, but I've never done, Eric and Brennan, I've never done like a deep dive on Mac Miller, like from the start. So maybe that's in the cards this year. But no, I really, really enjoyed this album too.
Good stuff. Yeah, no, it's a powerful album. Like that last song, even it's like it's quite long, and I still listen to it till the end. It's haunting. Like that phone, talking about phones ringing, no one picking up.
Yes.
Like that's kind of the same vibe there, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. Love that album, and yeah, Stoned also one of my favorites of the year. Just like good vibes. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm gonna probably listen to it after we do this, but yeah, no, good stuff. So now top three. I could have maybe had Balloonerism in here, but I do think this album's been mentioned already. I'm a massive fan of both artists on here, so it's Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs, Alchemist. Like, my guy Freddie just doesn't miss, especially when paired with another producer. Like, I don't really like SSS was a good album, but doesn't sniff his collab albums with Madlib and Alchemist. And I want him to just keep making albums like this. Like, stick to one producer and let the magic unfold. Limited features on here too, and I thought everyone was really good. Like Ensalada, such a catchy song. I think him and Anderson .Paak could make a collab album. They'd be all bangers on there. That's one of the hooks of the year, honestly, for me. Yeah, Empanadas I love, and then even like with his slower songs like that are kind of more geared towards like the love songs. Like I still love her. Feeling kind of has that vibe with Larry June. And with the features, I find he's never outshined, in my opinion. Like, Gold Feet JD, great, but I still think Freddie commands your attention on every song with his delivery, different flows. And then, yeah, caps it off with 1,000 Mountains. Love that song. It has, like, you feel like you're in the mountains. Yeah, it just has, like, a grandiose vibe to it. And, yeah, I hope we get Alfredo 3 down the road. That'd be a wish list album for sure. So Alfredo 2, amazing album. I agree, not as good as Alfredo 1, but still, like we're grading on a curve here, and say, or I don't know if we are. I don't know if I used that right, but great album. All that to say. So yeah, Alfredo 2, number 3.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Like I couldn't get enough of it. Even the the rollout. Like I love the rollout.
Yeah.
The short videos they made. You know, where I think they're in like Japan, and you know he gets betrayed by his sensei and all this stuff. Like just classic Gibbs and Alchemist, and no, it was amazing, amazing album.
Yeah, I already talked about it. Great. I love that it's in your top three, Eric.
Yeah,
love that.
Of course.
All right, my top three. This is not super hard to do for me. Like, these are the three albums. Definitely my three favorite albums. Number three's already been mentioned at the start of the episode. It's God Does Like Ugly by JID. That's my number three. I didn't think this would be my number three, honestly, but the more I re-listened to it, I was like, this has to be in my top five. And then it's like, this has to be in my top three, because I kept going back to it. Just the opening three tracks, like You Ugly, Glory, and Work, like gets me pumped up. And then Community hits, and then GZ and like VCR Skate, What We Are, all like with features, you know, Vince Staple, Earth Gang, and Don Tolliver, like that, those were great. And then the second half of the album's just as good. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this album. I love it. And I don't know anything about JID. Like, I need to go back and listen to other stuff. And it's kind of voice and flow grew on me too, because I wasn't sure at the start. I didn't know anything about him. But no, I had to have God Does Like Ugly, in my top three. I just loved it, guys. And the more we talked about it throughout the year, I was like, yeah, this is one I have to go back to and listen. And yeah, number three, God Does Like It Ugly. God Does Like Ugly. I can't even say that title properly, but yeah, JID. I got to go listen to some other stuff by him.
Yeah, he's one of the leaders of the new school, right? Like we're kind of looking for that handoff from your J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake to who are your next kind of big three, if you will. And I think he has a claim to that title of like putting out consistently great music, always great features too. And yeah, he's one of the big voices for the definitely lyrical, and he can do like a trap beat as well. Like he's supposed to have an album with Metro Boomin at some point too, which I'm definitely excited for. So now JD killing the game right now. Nothing but good things to say.
Yeah, incredible. This is the year where I really like got into his past albums too, and they're all great. Yeah, like when you get an older head who's like, oh, I don't know where hip hop is. Show him JID. Like he could do it all. He could do every style, lyrics, trap. like anything. He fits into every category, and he's just incredible. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
So now, okay, so these I kept going back and forth. So number 3, we all mentioned it. Freddie Gibbs, Alchemist, Alfredo 2. I had to. How could it not be a top 3 album? We mentioned every track, so I'll just say 1995. I love the Beat Switch.
It's so good.
Yeah, but it was just a great album, and it could have been in anywhere in the top 3. Like, it really could have. But yeah, no, I loved it. Loved everything. I love the different covers they put out with it. I don't know. Alchemist put such like attention into all those details that it's like great. So yeah, no, front to back, amazing.
So good.
Nice.
So that will go number 2. Might be number 1 for a lot. I think it's number 1 on a lot of people's lists. But Clips, Let God Sort 'Em Out. I'm not a big Clips fan. I've never been like a big Clips fan. But what an album! Like, what an incredible album. The Birds Don't Sing, probably like one of like the most touching tracks this year. Like, you know, where they're just both talking about, you know, their parents passing, and incredibly heartfelt that you don't get to see that side of them a lot. Malice, I don't know, becoming one of the best like lyricists of 2025, just like completely like killing it. We haven't heard him really in so long, and he comes back and he's just like side by side with Pusha T and outshines him in some of the tracks. The Kendrick Lamar feature on Chains and Whips was unbelievable. So Be It Part 2, like incredible. Tyler the Creator, POV, like what a great track. Like what an amazing. Pico, like I know Eric's gonna talk about that one, so I'll let him go on that one. But yeah, you know, there was just so many great things about this album. You know, Chandeliers, let God Sort 'Em Out. Chandeliers, where I don't know, it just becomes a Nas track, and like it's amazing. Like I loved it. So Be It Part 2, like that the beat. I don't know. I'll name every track, but it's just. It was unbelievable. Like I said, like growing up, like I don't know what it was, if it was Pharrell's sound, but I could never get into their music. Where this album like just blew me away. Like I couldn't believe, like 2 Chainz in my top 5 and Clips. Like I don't know, 2025 was it was wild.
Yeah, I think this goes to show that it's kind of year of the old heads come like. Mob Deep and Clips in your top 10 is probably something you never had on a bingo card ever, right? Especially not necessarily being a fan of their music. Like I had heard their 2 albums, like Hell Hath No Fury and Lord Willin'. Like I knew those albums, but I never listened to those albums. But with this album dropping, it made me go back and hey, let's re-listen to these 2 classics, and I enjoyed them a lot. Same thing with Mob Deep. Like I went back to their first like Hell on Earth, and the other one there, Infamous. So I went to those albums back. So it was a nice kind of like rediscovery of older classics, and these like guys like I mentioned Method Man as like having one of the better years. I think Malice had the best year in terms of every verse he was going nuclear on there. It was insane the stuff he was saying. Could be here all day just quoting his lyrics. And it wouldn't even be doing him justice. So no, great album, honestly. I mean, knew it was gonna be. It looks like in most people's top 2. So we'll see where that goes. But great album.
Nice, Eric. I'm speechless right now. You're talking about my second album right now, so I'm just gonna say it. Mob Deep, Infinite.
Let's go.
I was gonna open up with singing the M, the O, the B, the B, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna put that. I'm gonna sing the chorus. But that, like I mentioned it earlier when we brought up the album before, but that "Look at Me" song with Clips on the Mob Deep album is like when that starts, I'm like. So the instant jubilation, but yeah. As soon as Gunfire hit, when I first listened to this album, I knew it'd be in my top 10 because I'm like, oh, the rest of the album's got to be like this. Anyways, we already talked about all the songs: Taj Mahal, Mr. Magic, More Than Any, Pure Black Nights, Easy Bro. That's a fun, catchy song. I don't know.
Yeah.
Number two, Infinite by Mobb Deep. Yeah, there's not much to say on this. We already talked about it. I love it. I love Mobb Deep.
That's cool. I could have had this higher. I'm looking at my list now. Like that at number 8 could have been like 6, honestly. Like swap that with Juicy J, you know. So no, amazing album, and it's one that I think I'll keep listening to for a long time. So great pick. Love to see it in all of our top 10s, and at number 2 for you, Matt. So I got number 2 and 1 back to back. I don't know if I did a good enough job at downplaying how much I like this album. I might be yeah, anyways, so me, it's Life is Beautiful, Larry June, 2 Chainz, number 2. Absolutely love this. I don't think I said it, but this is an album that, yeah, dropped early in the year, and I went to Mexico in April, and this was like my soundtrack while I was there. Like I listened to it every day, and it's pretty fitting. Life is beautiful when you're in Mexico and it's still cold as hell in Canada. So it was a very nice album that brought me back to that time, and just front to back, again, no skips, like we've said. Larry June and 2 Chainz, unlikely duo, but their chemistry was off the hook. And as soon as that beat starts with Munyon Cannon, I knew we were in for a treat here. Just some beautiful instrumentals by probably my favorite producer working right now in The Alchemist. And Generation was one of the songs I listened to the most all year. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, I love how it's like one song Larry June kind of dominates, then it's 2 Chainz, and then 2 Chainz has the hook on this one, Larry June has the hook on the next one. 2 Chainz has the best verse there. So just the symmetry between the two, really nice. Bad Choices, LLC. Like, yeah, no, I don't know what it is about Larry June. Like, he could be, you could loop him in like the Boldy James category where he's so nonchalant that it may not work for you, but me, it just moves the needle. He's rapping about like making sound financial decisions. Like, I don't know, it just does it for me. It's like, got different accounts just for money growth, and I ain't gotta do shit but just make more. I don't even know. Like, it's just lines like they just fire me up, and yeah, it's inspirational stuff. So Larry June, 2 Chainz, Life is Beautiful. I love that you said it could have been your number 1. I feel the same way, honestly. I feel like it's a criminally underrated album, and I couldn't get enough of it. Like, on my way to the golf course, I would always listen to that to get fired up and hopefully make a birdie. And yeah, so it got me going. So yeah, great album, number 2.
Nice. Yeah, no, incredible. Like, yeah, just unbelievable album. Great pick.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump in right up to the next album I'm going to be listening to, probably right after this podcast, doing my workout. So
let's go.
Thanks for talking about this album, guys. I will be listening to it in about 2 hours. So awesome.
So now for number 1, if you don't know what it is by now, then you don't know what I know. You ain't seen what I saw. No, you ain't been where I go. With a fetty so strong, you gotta bag it with one eye closed. So come on, let God sort them out. Clips. Brandon said I was gonna talk about FICO. Honestly, my favorite song of the year, most listened to by far. Those 2 verses, Pusha T, Malice, and then my guy Stove God Cooks on the hook. Me with a poor man's imitation right there. Just did it for me. No skips on this album, honestly. And again, gotta just shout out Malice, who I've not really been a fan of or known his music for a long time, because Pusha T is more the one who's gone solo, has had more commercial success, obviously more well known with the beef with Drake. But I thought Malice had the better of him on almost every song, but that's not to discount what Pusha T did on here. He was unbelievable, but just it was the Malice show in my opinion. And the chemistry between the two, off the charts. Love the production by Pharrell, and yeah, just not enough good things to say about this. I think you had posted a poll, Brandon, asking if with more spins you've appreciated this album more, if it kind of stayed the same. I think at the time I said stayed the same, but no. I definitely enjoyed this more. The more I listened to it, never got sick of it. Those first 6 songs flow like there's a subtle Travis Scott diss in there, like sorry guy. I mean, I'm Team Pusha right now. He's putting out the better music. Yeah, like singling out lines is hard, but there's one I just go around like singing in the house, like white glove service with the brick. I am Luigi. It's like, where do they come up with this stuff? It's just unbelievable. Even like a goofy line like yellow diamonds look like pee. Like in the hands of a worse rapper, that comes off as corny, but Push just makes it work. Yeah, but again, FICO, I just want to highlight that whole verse by Malice just fires me up. Listening to that in the car, just like, it's all stuff I absolutely cannot relate to, but just listening to it is really good stuff. So yeah, Let God Sort 'Em Out Clips, undisputed #1 album of the year for me.
Yeah, no, understandably so. And like, I spoke on it before, but like FICO, I don't know, just to see the love that Stove God Cooks got from just the chorus is unbelievable. Like, he just did the chorus, and I think from podcasts that mentions online to like everywhere, it's like the standout. It was just amazing to see. But yeah, no, front to back, what an album.
That's a phenomenal pick, Eric. Because it's also my #1, obviously. It's pretty obvious. Let God Sort 'Em Out. Not only is this my favorite album of 2025, this might be my favorite album of the last 5 years. I think this should be nominated for like one of the best albums of the year in any genre. Like for this year, like this album was perfect in my opinion. I listened to it a lot. I listened to it yesterday, one last time on my way to hockey, and I was just like crying tears of joy. Not literally, but as soon as like Chains and Whips starts, like that, my uncle said I must be sick, you know, like you hear that, and like the whole song. I'll highlight All Things Considered, Inglorious Bastards. Those are 2 great songs, but again, no skips. Like all these songs are great. Yeah. You had the 3 acronym songs in a row. That's cool. Yeah, no, I don't know what else to say about this album other than I will be listening to this album for a long time. And it's one of my favorites in like the last 5 years, guys. Like I thought it was super solid. Didn't even know who Clips was till this year, admittedly. But no, I undisputed #1. I loved it. I'm glad it's our #1, Eric. We've done this before with Denzel Curry, right? 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah. Anyways, Let God Sort 'Em Out #1.
Would have loved to see the clean line 111, but I have a feeling I know what Brandon's #1 is. But I know what it is. This for sure. I hope they win the Grammy for best rap album, honestly. And last year GNX was my favorite album. I do love that album, honestly, but I do think this is a better album than GNX. So I hope it wins, but who knows what they'll want to recognize at the award show. And who cares, honestly, at the end of the day. They're like, I enjoy this one more. That's what matters for me. But I hope they get some recognition.
No, it definitely deserved it. And we almost had a clean sweep, but December 12th ruined it all. And but I had to, like Nas and DJ Premier, Light Years. Matt, you mentioned it before, but like literally from like since 1994, I admittedly got into Nas in 1996, so I can't claim the number like 94, but waiting for a Premier Nas album. Mass Appeal just completely killed it this year. You know, when you first heard about it, I don't know, as a fan I get worried because I'm like, oh man, like there's so much like, you know, like legacy and like how could they do this, but they controlled the year. To me, they controlled the year. They just project after project was amazing. Then to have Nas and Premier cap it off was unbelievable. And I heard, you know, there's always going to be talks and this and that, but New York State of Mind Part 3 with the Billy Joel like sample in the middle of it was amazing. Nasty Esco Nazir, which almost has a bit of an Eminem alter ego fight feel to it. Pause Tapes, like another dedication to like hip hop, to the full culture, where you have songs like Pause Tapes, which is how they used to create their beats back in the days. Writers, with all the graph writers out there. You know, It's Time with the Steve Miller Band, one of my favorite tracks, along with Shine Together. They do a lot of throwbacks too, like there's a lot of, I find, like little gems throughout their career in it. And Third Childhood, where DJ Premier redoes the scratches from Second Childhood. Like, I love that. But yeah, and you had two Canadian producers also work on it with Marco Polo and Shiloh, Shy the Beat Yoda, which is, a nice little feather to have. These are two guys that are like incredible producers. But yeah, I can't talk enough good about this. Like, Welcome to the Underground, just it was vintage. And to me, Nas has killed like every feature he's been on. He's had an incredible year. And this is, I don't know, this is like his give back to hip hop. He gave back to the legends. He gave them a platform. And then he just completely outshined them all, in my opinion. But yeah, incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
When you said yeah, go ahead, Eric.
well, I was just gonna say, like, Nas in general, I feel like with his talk about rap beefs here briefly, like Nas Jay-Z classic rap beef, and you could easily, like, obviously argue Jay-Z's had more mainstream commercial success with like the radio hits and everything, but you look back at their whole careers, like Jay-Z ain't putting out great music in his later years as Nas has been in the 2020s. Like, if Jay-Z were to put out an album in 2026, I don't know how good it would sound, but one thing you can say about Nas is that he's been so consistent, and it's at the very least going to be very good. Whereas Jay-Z, who knows? Anyway, that's kind of my take on Nas, where he's at in his career at this point. Like, it's extremely impressive what he's been doing. And yeah. Jay-Z, sorry if you're listening. I'm not trying to bash you needlessly there, just making a point. But anyways, so that's my take there.
But yeah, no, 7 years, 7 albums since, 2020?
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that a lot. Yeah.
Incredible. As soon as you said you spun it like 20 times, I'm like, shit, it's going to be his number one. And I totally didn't guess right. That's awesome. I'm going to keep listening to this one too, because I've only listened to it twice. So that's awesome that he's your number one. I mean, he's not just been number one on a lot. Like, I feel like in the last 5 years, we've picked the Magics and the King's Diseases, right? Yeah. So really well represented on this podcast.
Yeah, definitely. We each have 3 of the same albums on here. Like, we all have Infinite, Alfredo 2, Let God Sort 'Em Out. The few other doubles there, but but also a lot of variety on here as well. So no, great lists again, everybody. A lot of fun to do. I love to see again the same picks, the different picks. I think the pick I'm happiest about is the Life is Beautiful being on there as well. Like, I thought I'd be so low rep in that one, but love to see it. Matt, you got to check that out for sure.
Yeah.
But were there any other albums you guys quickly wanted to mention that we maybe haven't discussed that almost made it, or has everything kind of been covered for you guys?
I don't. There's always a few.
I thought you'd have Don't Tap the Glass on there, and also No Blue albums. Surprise no there. Blue. Yeah.
40 almost made it, but there was just so many great albums. Tap the Glass I really enjoyed. Dave East and Ransom.
I thought that'd be there too.
Yeah, that was number 10 for that was right there, but I don't know, it was just such a good year. There's this rapper out of Toronto, Raz Fresco. He released his album Stadium Low. Amazing. I don't know, I feel like I have another top 10 that any other year that would have been it. It was incredible.
Views of a Lifetime, Skies. I was sure that was going to be number 10 or 9. I had that ready to discuss. Great album. And again, he dropped it kind of late, which is why it's tough to bump something you may have been listening to longer just because he put something out at the end of the year. It's tough to include. I want to just shout out an album that caught me by surprise. I don't know if you guys checked it out. Everything Is a Lot by Wale. So he's someone who's been around for so long. He's like 40, early 40s now. Has never put out a great album in my opinion, but he's very vulnerable on here and created a lot of very catchy, upbeat songs too. So a lot of variety. If you haven't checked it out, I would definitely recommend it. Everything Is a Lot, Wale, pretty good stuff. That was a surprise album for me.
I've been seeing that a lot. He what Matt did with 2 Chainz, I did with that. I'm like, I don't want to listen to a Wale album, but I gotta check it out. I definitely have to.
You should check it out. That was good.
Same here. I was surprised. I knew this guy's got a discography that I never listened to, but Brother Ali, Satisfied Soul, I really enjoyed that album. Would have been on my top 10 if it was more consistent. It was a little long too, but that surprised me. I didn't know anything about the guy. And the Dave East album too, I really liked. I really like the quick like 6 songs of Rock Marciano and DJ Premier, "Cold This Profession." I think that was fun to listen to. But I don't know, just 6 songs. I don't know if I could put that on my top 10.
Yeah.
There's some catchy stuff there. The other Boldy James albums, really, I could have had 4 Boldy James albums.
Criminally
no, it's a super solid year. Even the Exhibit album I like, the Ice Cube album I like.
Yeah.
Never listened to an Exhibit album until this year, honestly. Like, I just really never have. Yeah.
It was a good one too. An artist that really shocked me was the God Fahim. Like those, what was it, the Dump God albums?
Yeah.
Those were like incredible.
Those were good.
Yeah, they were really, really good.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of good stuff. Like I like the Rome Streets Conductor album too, Train Spotting. I thought that was really good.
That was
another great Method Man feature on there as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, that was incredible. I don't know if I mentioned Smith and Wesson Infinity or Infinite. Deep was Infinite. Yeah, that was another one. It was just, I don't know. There was too many great albums.
There were. A good problem to have. So now, are there any albums or artists that you guys are looking at in 2026 that you'd like to see something drop, like maybe a Wish Dream collab? Anything that you guys have thought of or want to put out there and will into existence?
Yeah, I'm really hoping that 2 Chainz and Static Selecta album drop this year. I think that'll be another one that just like opens the eyes of like how good he really is as a rapper. And I just hope that this Legend Has It series continues.
Yeah.
I want to see like Cool G Rap release an album. You know, Large Professor. If we could just continue that trend of giving like legends who like are still good that just need that platform to like release, you know, and Nas Premiere Part 2. I'm gonna put that out there.
I want to see this. Like, I don't even know if they're gonna drop anything, but my wish list, I guess, I'd like to see like a Black Thought album because I really liked the last one.
Yeah.
And another Denzel Curry album because I really enjoyed his last one. So those are my top 2. You guys know way more than I do, Eric. Than you and Eric know. Sorry. You, Brandon, and Eric, you guys know way more than I do about the upcoming stuff, so can't wait to hear what you guys say.
Honestly,
Eric?
not really in terms of who... Like, albums, I feel like, is more sporadic than, like, a movie you know it's coming... Like, I know it's coming out in December of 2026, but I have no clue who's going to drop an album in, like, July of 2026, right? But there's, like, the next ones that I'm looking at with set release dates for now, A$AP Rocky, Stove God Cooks. By the time this drops, the A$AP Rocky album is supposed to be out, so hopefully that is the case. Stove God, believe it when I see it. But albums I'd like to see, like a dream collab. Like I want, like Alchemist is on here. He's 2 of my top 3 albums had Alchemist production in there. I'd love to see like bring my guy Joey Badass even higher up in my list with an Alchemist production album. I think that would be incredible, and I feel like that's what Joey needs to do at this point in his career. To be, if he wants to be in the JID conversation, make an album with Alchemist, get that critical acclaim that he like almost gets, but doesn't really get that universal praise. So I feel like that would take him to another level. And in terms of a Legends Has It album, I've talked about him a few times already. Give me a Method Man album. I feel like that's... I don't know if Method Man even has a classic album. Like Tikal, I think it's okay. Like has some good songs for sure, but I want like a 30 years later retroactive classic from Meth. Give me that Legends Has It Method Man album. So that those are kind of my 2 like wish list albums there. And then any surprise, we'll see. Yeah.
No, that would be great. I just Black Thought. Cheat Codes 2 with Danger Mouse. That's supposed to be coming out this year.
It is, exactly.
Oh, sweet, okay.
And agreed, Denzel Curry need a proper album from him too. Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to discuss in the hip-hop realm, or good to kind of cap off here?
I'm good. I think we said a lot of great stuff today, and there's a lot of... I can't wait to check out the 2 Chainz album, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go through a couple of Boldy James albums now.
and the Yellow Wolf album. Let's not
Yellow Wolf,
forget.
yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
that's
believe
right.
that one.
That's
That
right.
one completely passed me. I can't believe
Yeah.
it. I'm such a big fan too.
Yeah, but a lot of fun as per usual. Great lists, guys, and yeah, hopefully 2026 can be like 2025, and a lot of great albums for us to choose when we do this time next year, and the same level of difficulty in terms of making a 10 album list. So yeah, Brandon, as always, a pleasure to have you on. Any final notes for the listeners?
Just I love that we get to do this every year. It's literally the thing I do throughout the year. I'm just taking notes, I'm making my lists, and yeah, just keep listening to like hip hop. It's so much great music. I think we're at like a real great point of the genre right now, from past to new.
Yeah, completely agreed. Well said, Matt. As always, a pleasure. Great list, and love the Boldy James double representation. Yeah, any final notes for the listeners?
I just want to thank everybody for listening. And guys, I had a blast talking with you about hip hop and doing our top 10 lists. Your guys' lists were amazing. Brandon, thank you for coming on. You're always an amazing guest. I love hearing you talk about hip hop, your number one passion. Like, I love it. I look forward to this episode every year. Thank you for coming on again. And everybody, thank you for listening. We really appreciate you guys.
Well said, Matt. So yeah, thanks a lot, everybody, for listening. Stay tuned for episodes dropping every 2 Mondays. Continue to enjoy the hopefully great albums that we've recommended for you to listen to. And yeah, peace.